Hello friends, welcome. Happy Monday. My hair's still just out of the shower. Mossy's here, give us a wink. Thumbs up, yeah, good work. Tonight, this evening, we're going to paint a model from a game that arrived today, literally today. Aeon Trespass Odyssey. It looks like this guy. Yeah. We're going to use some airbrush for this big dude, but before we do that, I'll just show off some little beautiful girls I've been doing, little Kingdom Death girls. Let's zoom in on the girls. So this one's called Zelda. Nice figure. Like it. I like it a lot. This little golden dagger's called Obsession. This one is called Stampede Glaive Zell. And yeah, she's very nice. Very nice girl. Two glorious figures. They look very, very nice. I've felt quite good about my skin tones recently on these Kingdom Death girls. I went through a little period where I was struggling a bit. This one's called Longclaw Lenore, by the way, so she's the one I'm working on at the moment. But I'm going to have to fix this situation, I think. Yes. Glorious day today, glorious day. The arrival of a game that has been 5 years in the making. I should say the arrival of the second half of the game. The first half arrived, when was it? End of 22, I think. End of 22 feels about right. Yeah, so game arrived. Big Dino played it, really enjoyed it, put it aside, and then they came back and did a second Kickstarter. And that Kickstarter, I decided I would play some other games and record it while the Kickstarter was on. And so I went back in and recorded playthrough for cycles 2 and 3. And you can find that on YouTube if you're interested. But I got really excited for the game then, and it was around mid last year. When was it exactly? I think you'd have to go and have a look. But yeah, I feel like it was mid last year or thereabouts. Yeah, but the game has only just arrived back on in my hands. The second wave, cycles 4 and 5. And I am very, very excited. However, I probably won't do a lot of playing for a while. Probably won't play for at least a month. Maybe sooner. I generally play using the Scribe app, and the Scribe app has not yet been updated, obviously, because I'm one of the first people in the world to receive their copy. Which feels super weird, by the way. Yeah, so I do want to paint the models before I stream playing the game. So that's going to take me, a couple of weeks probably, maybe a little more, depending on, life, etc. But I also need the Scribe app. I probably will do a playthrough that's not recorded first. It's an interesting one. I think on the one hand, as a viewer, I want to see someone who knows what they're doing, someone who has their shit together. Although, to be fair, sometimes one of the funnest things when I'm watching board game playthroughs is shouting at the person when they're making mistakes. What are you doing, you idiot? Stop it! So yeah, there's the perspective of I'd really like to have a rules clear playthrough as much as possible. It's obviously not super possible a lot of the time, especially when you're playing solo and there's a game with this level of complexity. Very unlikely to get that playthrough fully correct. And that's just how it is. Yeah, that's unfortunate, mate. How do you get rid of ads? Is that my fault? The ads coming up because of me? Have I got some function turned on? Pro Twitch streamer over here. I'm sure you all know. Anyway, I was in the midst of talking about something. What was I talking about? You remember?
Odyssey.
Thank you. Very helpful. Playthrough. Good work. Yeah. I want to watch someone who knows what they're doing, but at the same time, I also want to watch someone who's being surprised. And so, in this game, the main thrust of the story is going to be relatively similar, regardless of what decisions you make. So, it's unlikely that we're going to be able to get those two things at the same time. A rules clean playthrough and a surprise and interesting thing. Let's go look at the artwork for this guy. No, this one's actually, this one's from the new game, Craig Zog. I did a little unboxing today on my lunch break. It was very exciting, actually. The game arrived this morning. Working from home today on this, my last day. And yeah, just thought, what the heck? I'm one of the first people that received their copy of this game, so I'm sure people are very excited to see. So I just did a very substandard unboxing video. And I actually said, like, I don't really like unboxing videos as a general rule. I think they're like a really weird. Like, I want to experience the game for myself. So yeah, let's go look at the artwork for this guy. Wonder if the palette cams decided to work today. Hey, it has. Let's zoom in on palette cam. There you go, some palette cam. Alright, Demidjinn. Demidjinn, Aeon, Trespass. Images. Huh. It should be somewhere. Should be somewhere. Let's go and have a look at the Kickstarter page, maybe. Kickstarter. Hello, Simon. Welcome, mate. Yes, no, it was a. Yeah, I've actually had a hectic week, so I'll share that very shortly. But I do want to just get a bit of a handle on this. on this figure. Let's show you what I'm doing so I don't look like an absolute spud. See if that works. Hey, good work, me. God, I'm good at this Twitch malarkey sometimes, eh? Like, I make this look easy sometimes. Alright, this is what I'm looking at. So, this game arrived. Tremendous. It's got a lot of cool stuff. We just need to go find cycle 4. Maybe we need to go to the second Kickstarter, actually. Yeah, we'll go to the second Kickstarter. That artwork was a little more prepared. These guys are doing a new game called Enormity, which I am very enthusiastic for. I got all this shit. Fuck me. I hope I live till I'm 150 so I can play all the games and paint all the models I've got. Alright, let's just get down past Sins of Heracles into... Yeah, this is all Sins of Heracles into the original ATO Trespass. Come on, Dano. That's still just... Alright, surely it's here. There we go. So, that's cycle 5 with the underwater Atlantis. Here we go. Some great artwork. Demidjinn is this guy's name. So, there's a very yellow and golden vibe. So, yep, that's cool. So, that's the dude we're looking at. So, it's gold and black. Black and gold. Yeah, good Kickstarter though. It was a really good Kickstarter. Alright, let's think. How do we want to... Let's put some sandy colours underneath. So, this one's set in a... desert. So we'll go some desert colours from below. Yeah, last couple of weeks. Jeepers, what a crazy time. So yeah, finished up. Today's my last official day with my company. Sad day. Sad day. And yeah, so last week I flew down to Melbourne and had a last hurrah, which was nice. Get a bit more pressure. So yeah, said goodbye and tried to figure out. It was actually quite... It should have been really sad. It wasn't. And we actually reflected on why that was. And it was because there was basically 6 of us left. This company of 150 people. And 150 plus. It was actually 900 or whatever, but... we just spent the last 6 months saying goodbye to everyone. So hard to be emotionally up after that, you know? You just reach a point where you're like, yeah, I can't really say anything that hasn't already been said. So we just celebrated and moved on with our lives. But me moving on with my life was purchasing a car and driving back from Melbourne with it. So that was 2 days of driving. And I don't know if you're familiar with Brisbane to Melbourne. 2.5 hour plane ride, 2-day drive. On reflection, I had a very nice time on the drive. Not mine, for Mossy. Little Mazda. Nice little car. No, I'm not a Subaru Outback. I used to work with a lot of Kiwis. They call Subarus Subarus, so I did not buy a Subaru. Yeah, nice. Mazda's great little cars. I'm a fan of it. It was a long amount of time, and I guess the weird thing for most of us was we were in that time working through basically everything. You know, terminating people and closing things and just all of the stuff that you don't want to do. And so we just had to be so emotionless and focused on the task at hand that it was very hard to not just sort of, like, we just all got accepting of the fact that was just how it was now and moved on. There was a few tears, and we got to share some really nice words with, oh, nice one, Deno. People that we've worked really closely with, and I say we, the 6 of us that were left, said some nice things to each other. So all right, it's time to add some saturation. Actually, maybe we'll go a little bit of brush. I've got a big brush. Got a big brush for this. I'll probably just use this one. I don't pick up a Cybertruck, mate. Don't be ridiculous. How do we feel about this plan, Dano? Feel okay. Next week we hit the ground running. So this is my single week off. I'm aiming to make the most of it by playing Kingdom Death, painting models. So basically doing exactly what I do the rest of my time. Yes, indeed, Bucks. This is the new Aeon Trespass Odyssey board game. Very exciting. Hey, speaking of you, Bucks, we've got a judging thing to do very soon, my friend, for the Kingdom Death Discord. Painting competition finishes tonight. So, I probably should take more time than I have, but I feel like if I'm not doing something, I'm going to be feeling, it's going to be hard to go back, like, to working. Like, my real passion sure many of you are shocked to know is this hobby. Okay, Timbo. You know, whether it's painting or playing games or both, you know, that is my passion. And being able to indulge in my passion for extended periods is wonderful and feels great and glorious until that ends. Hello there. So yeah, I figure I'd rather just get back into the swing of things and move on. So I did very little preparatory work on this model. In fact, I did zero preparatory work. So enjoy that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I've done myself a disservice, right? Maybe I would be fine. But there's a saying. Too much of a good thing. Something. I don't really know the saying. But it's not good. I don't think. It's not good for me. It's probably more accurate to say that I think I know my own personality quite well. And it would be very, very hard for me to experience the life that I guess it's fair to say I want to be living, which is all hobby all the time. And then not be able to live that. And when I take annual leave for a couple of weeks, you know, that's tough, but it's also like a little reminder of this is what you're working towards, Deno, for you to be able to do this at some point in the future. So I think the balance for me to strike would have been how long to take, and that would have been a hard balance to get right. G'day, Ed. We will definitely be talking about that tonight. Definitely. That is on the agenda for discussion. Feel free to share a link, friends. A link of said model for those who may not have seen it. On your Craig Zog. let's get into it right now, shall we? My first thing that I'd like to say is, what exactly is one supposed to say to that? I was both equally humbled, horrified, honoured. It was a very mixed feeling going on within me, and I'm not sure if it's intended in jest. I mean, clearly it's intended in jest, right? But fully in jest, or is there part of it that's like respectful? No, this is a different shirt. I just wear Hawaiian shirts, mate, and my little fucking singlet. That's what I wear. Got to know your aesthetic, mate. So yeah, here we are. And I'm staring down this painted picture of myself, and I'm just not sure what to do. What to do with myself. But anyway, in the end, I love it. Right, I absolutely love it. It's a wonderful homage to me. And we all know I love me. So but yeah, there was a very difficult feeling to explain. So I've sent him a message, an appreciative message, to thank him. Genuinely appreciative. Like there's a lot of hours of work in that, and that's. I don't know why he's chosen to do hours of work, but I acknowledge the work and the time, and yeah. Weird stuff. The thing that I'm also really impressed by, which I'm sure you're all aware of already, like it's actually very, very good too. Like it's a very good likeness. I mean, if I was being a little bit selfish, I could say that maybe it just looks a little bit older than I actually feel I look, but maybe I'm not. Mossy, why don't you come and give us your thoughts? Mossy? Sleepy slang life's good, mate. Hey, Mossy! Come in for a sec. Mossy, the fans want to know. What do you think of the Big Dano sculpt that was put on the internet a couple of days ago?
Which version do I find more attractive?
That's
This one.
No, what did you think of the sculpt?
Very creative.
Did you think it looked like me?
I look like you when you're 80.
Good. Didn't think it looked like me now.
No.
Why not?
You got no wrinkles.
I got wrinkles galore. It was a pretty crazy thing, hey? You and I both had no idea what to say.
No.
We were both sitting on the couch just looking at it, feeling very confused. Probably me more than you. Hey. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts, Mossy? You're setting the world alight with this stream tonight, sharing your thoughts and feelings. Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm really glad we got you out here. Thumbs up. Jordan's not going to send it to me, to my knowledge. Maybe we'll sell it. Maybe he'll sell it to me. Is that ego at its finest? I would like to purchase this model of myself. That's got to be the most egotistical thing I've ever done, if that is in fact what I end up doing. Did I buy more of that black? I don't think I bought black, did I? I have to use black ink. That's not ideal. Maybe I'll make a black wash using that. Oh yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, mate. I'd absolutely do it. Let's not kid ourselves here. Let's not kid ourselves. If there's a way for me to be egotistical, I will. Yeah, the part that I want to stress here is I feel very, very privileged and and grateful to have that weird. Oh, here he is. Here is the man himself. I feel very grateful and honoured to have had such an impact on someone's life that they felt it was a worthy topic for a figure. Be like luck charm. Can't go wrong. Looking good tonight, little Deno. Alright, so all of the stuff that I did beforehand to then wash it with this black. I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, Dano, you're an absolute spud. Why did you do that? Well, it's probably a fair observation, really, but the dude's supposed to be black. But I just wanted him to be a little bit golden as well. Desert-like. So we'll probably even hair dry that right now. Antique Inkwell, I'd say there's a strong possibility I will be going to Canberra in January, yes. I am the event organiser for the Crimson Brush. So if I don't make it there, we may have some troubles. Be a more trouble in the early settlers, as my friend Whaley likes to say. No, I will definitely be there with bells on. It's a big time of the year for me. I get to have a cool board games weekend with my friends, and then also see my other friends and play cool toy soldier. Play pretending to be a judge. But no, I'm not going to be doing a lot of judging this year, I don't think. Going to be kicking back, letting other people do all the hard work. All right, let's whip out some true metallic metals, eh? Been a while. I'm going to do that a little bit down there. So I like to think that I have basically 3 sort of levels of miniature painting that I paint to. The first is what I consider my board games quality. And then the second is a tier that sits in between board games quality and my display quality, which is the highest level that I paint to. And I kind of like to call that my Kingdom Death quality. And then, my display quality. And so I think it's really, really good to have in mind the purpose of the thing that you are creating when you're doing it. Like this is a figure that is going to sit on the table, and I am going to move little models around and roll dice and figuratively wail on it. We're going to bash this guy. And what he needs to do... that's a great question, Jimmy, that I'll come back to in a sec. What he needs to do is look good on the table. It's a very simple goal. If he looks good on the table, we are successful. Nice one, Dano. And if he doesn't look good on the table, well, it means I haven't hit my mark on what I consider board game standard. And it is sleepy slang. It is hard sometimes to just be painting to this level and say, yep, that's enough. Because you always think to yourself, oh yeah, I could just do a little bit of here and a little bit of here, you know? And then bang, before you know it, you've spent 15 hours on a model that, you know, you'll probably use 3 or 4 times on a table, and then you'll move on to a different game. So really, it comes back to one of my favourite things I talk about all the time, which is goal setting, and really understanding what your goal is in this hobby and or experience that you're having right now. So the purpose of this game for me is to play it. The paint jobs that I am aiming for on these models are tabletop. And so I try to keep that in every part of my process that I'm doing, because there's ways I could do things better. It's probably not ways I could do things quicker, but better is not necessarily what we want. We just want done. Finished, not perfect, one could say. Another thing to consider, this is a gigantic brush. This little universe, Aeon Trespass Odyssey, is probably one of my favourite universes, aside from Kingdom Death, that I think I've ever played. It's set in a version of ancient Greece, and in this version of ancient Greece, kaiju have turned up. They're called primordials in this universe, and so all of the humans running around basically just getting absolutely pillaged by these primordials. However, along comes a little ship called the Argo, and you play as the crew of the Argo. And one of the cool things that happens in the Argo is you can pilot a Jaeger. In this world, the Jaegers are called Titans, and they're actually not robots. They're something from ancient Greek mythology, which I'll come back to in a second. But it's basically you link with these little Titans, you control their actions, and you go fight primordials with them. And if your Titan dies, you as the pilot of the Titan have some flashback, but you generally survive. Maybe. Maybe not. Hello there, unworthy heads. And there's a lot of cool stuff that comes out of that. So yeah, in ancient Greek, like genuinely the thing I love about this game is how it takes real ancient Greek mythology and fuses it into its own thing. So, hello Hydration King Jack. It is a sick looking figure. You're absolutely right. Yeah, like the Titans were the rulers of Greece before the gods came along, right? So the most well-known Titan is Prometheus. He was actually a Titan. And so in this universe, they've taken the Titans and said, yeah, they exist, and you're going to fucking mind control them. How sick is that? Alright, let's say goodnight to Mossy. She runs past. Okay, off you go. No, you're going this way. Just go. Come on. No trust. No trust from you. No, Hydration Jack. This is from a game that's very, very recently just landed on everyone's shores. It's called Aeon Trespass Odyssey. Everyone in Australia, I should say. It's yeah. Yes, Sleepy Slang. I will be doing a playthrough eventually. It is a cool looking model, mate. I paint all sorts of cool looking models. Here's one you might not have seen before, but this is something I did on stream a little while ago. colour do I use for that? Cygora thing. You want to look at Camelot, did you say, Timbo? Alright, mate. I can put on Camelot for you. There you go. You are very welcome. I just remembered, I forgot we called Sleepy Slang Slangers. That's his new name now, isn't it? Slangers. Slangers. What's happening? Oh, Kiki's back. Now, I got to tell you all, friends, I got to tell you, to my eternal shame, Kiki raids so regularly and is so very kind for doing so. And I only just recently went on and scoped out Kiki's Instagram. Fuck, awesome painter. Let's bring it up on screen and have a look. What an awesome painter, friends. Firstly, doing Kingdom Death models. That is some red hot shit. Let me tell you, that is some incredible non-metallic metal. Look at this Summer Lucy. This was done on stream, or there's a YouTube video on how to paint this. So, beautiful stuff. Also got to do some of the Mindworks Games Kickstarter stuff. Luck from Kingdom Death. Scouties that I just painted. Lucy, I painted her on my channel not long ago. Urza. So, my advice to you, if you're not already doing so, go and follow Kiki's Miniature Mania on both Twitch, YouTube, and on the Instagrams. Do yourself a favour. Get it done. And my one regret is that I didn't realise this sooner and didn't express appreciation soon enough for raiding so regularly. Alright, I've given up on the little cup. Alright, last step. I'm just going to do some airbrushing, I think, to unify all of that I've just done together. And the colour that I'm going to use for that. Ban Timbo for 30 minutes, mate. Big rig. Make it an hour. Ah, glorious. let's add some blue and black. I'm going to use Signal Blue, which is one of my all-time favourite airbrush colours. Got too much in there, so we'll get a bit of that out. Use Signal Blue all the time. Cold blue, glorious, and then we're going to add a tiny little bit of black. We don't want a lot of black. We'll overpower the blue. Probably want a little bit more than that. Good. Is that enough? Still looks a little bit too blue, Dano. I do love Pterodon turquoise, mate. You all know that. Alright. So, in theory, and I'll tweak this up a little bit. Oh, we're on focus, are we, Dano? Why'd you switch to focus, you pest? Let's get a little bit more exposure so you can see. It should look mostly black. And then we'll do some highlights. Ah, good mate, yeah. Yeah, recording on camera is an interesting thing. Some of the time it can just be a breeze, and other times it's just like, oh my god. Nothing is going right. Most of the time these days, though, I don't have too many troubles with it. All right. So we're going to highlight the gold with this wonderful colour from Scale. It's called Ord Elfico, which means, well no, Oro Elfico, Elven Gold. Seriously, did you go or follow Kiki? Unreal. Agaros Tunes, I think will be good. Oh shit, that's a new one. I don't need a new one. Shit. Sands through the hourglass. So yes, the story I was telling before about this game was just about how much I really like the way that it takes truthful things, truthful mythological things, and fuses them into its own story. And so the main villain in this particular chapter cycle is actually the Tower of Babel. That's the villain. You fight a tower. How? Not sure yet. It's alive. It looks like Sauron. And it looks sick. And then King Midas Hello, Yon. King Midas is involved in this chapter, this cycle. If you don't know, King Midas, very famously, everything he touches turns to gold. It's amazing. Yeah, it does actually have a model, man, and it's fucking sick. I'll show you the model. Have I got it up? It's they've actually redone it since this, but here it is. Yeah, you can go with, he's got the Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to gold. Or you can go with J.R. Jimmy Ricard. Raise your hands for the king of the bar. Everything touches turns to gold. It's amazing. Yes, so there's a lot of really cool spins on historical figures and moments. I'll try and say this without spoiling anything. In the first 3 chapters, I met Achilles, I met Perseus, I met with the ancient Greek gods, and all sorts of other wonderful things. So, and that's it's a really clever component to this game, as you find yourself involved in ancient Greek myth and legend in a new way. And as I said, I love it. So this game would be, I think it was my number 1 game for 2022. Actually, I'm decided I'm going to do a YouTube video for my games, my top 5 games of the year. This year, I normally do a Twitter post. But yeah, this time I'm going to do a video because I play a lot of games and have a lot more than 256 characters to say. And also, whatever happened to Twitter? I used to be on Twitter all the time. I used to think Twitter was great. We all know what happened to Twitter, but you know. My playthrough's unlikely to come anytime soon, Johnny. Johnny. My plan for the playthrough, I'm definitely going to do one. I'd like to play through the cycle blind without recording it and have some real nice mistakes and just have fun. And then when I do a playthrough, we'll have 2 things that'll come out of that. One, I'll be able to play a little bit better on stream or on video. It's actually, Sleepy Sane will confirm here, right? Painting models on camera is really hard. Painting models on camera whilst reading and interacting with people in a chat is harder. And painting models, is something I do without really thinking too much about. So I find that only moderately difficult. But playing a game that requires a large amount of your thought processes and your stuff, and then trying to play that game correctly, and be funny and interesting to watch, that's an order of magnitude more difficult. So, and I really like watching playthroughs where people know a little bit about what they're doing, don't necessarily need them to be making great decisions or perfect decisions or anything like that. In fact, oftentimes I like shouting at the screen saying, "What the hell are you doing? It's so obvious. Do this." And that's part of the thing that keeps me engaged in the actual playthroughs. So I feel like it's okay to make strategic poor choices, but yeah. So I'll play through once off camera. That'll also give the wonderful people at Scribe an opportunity to update their tremendous app. I don't know how far off the ITU app is actually. I did use the ITU app for my first playthrough. It was quite good. Scribe just manages so much. Yes! Hello, Malta. Bit of true metallics, mate. Well, don't get too used to it. Hey, Sean. Alright, and now we do the magic. The magic. What is the word, mate? I've been told that Greece is the word, actually. It's the word that you heard. But yeah, don't blame me, man. I'm just the messenger. Take your problems and we flow away. Conventionality belongs to yesterday. There ain't a chance that we can take it so far. Just stop believing now. We can be who we are. Greece is the word. It's the word that you heard. It's got meaning. Bow, 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 bow. It's one of my dad's favourite movies when I was growing up, Greece. We had probably 3 or 4 movies that were on TV all the time. Grease, Sound of Music, Wizard of Oz. I have a wonderful connection with those movies. Sound of Music. No, mate, I love it. I'm not... It was my dad's favourite movie, but Sound of Music's in my top 5 films of all time, probably. I love it. Filmed in the beautiful Salzburg of Austria. I went there, actually. I went to Salzburg. And I reenacted some of the scenes from the movie. It's wonderful. Wonderful time. Hang on a second, weren't you banned? Do we need to ban him again? Monster Hunter, no, it's not a game I've ever played. I know I was informed that Kingdom Death Monster, which is one of my favourite board games, is very heavily inspired by Monster Hunter in some ways. But no, I've never played it. I really struggle. I really struggle with computer games in general, and I'm not sure why. I used to play quite a lot of console games when I was younger. But yeah, ever since I've become an adult, I've just prioritised playing board games or painting models or watching TV over computer games. There's a few exceptions to that. I think I put about 15 hours or something into Hogwarts Legacy. Pretty cool game. And I did actually get right into Darkest Dungeon. Got right into Darkest Dungeon for a while, mostly because it just made me feel like a board game. So, that's a good game, Darkest Dungeon. I was actually thinking about whipping that out the other day and having another playthrough. Oh yeah, I'm awful at it, mate. No, I'm not awful, but certainly haven't completed the game or anything. Conventionality belongs to yesterday. I did know, yeah, there is a second one. My mate that I play with board games with on a Tuesday, the lovely Darren, who frequents this stream on occasion, he played it. He said it was awesome. I actually looked at Slay the Spire. They made a board game of it, and yeah, so I had a look at it. I don't know. Zero interest. I got no idea why. Yeah, hey, I appreciate the recommendation, and definitely don't think that it's a bad recommendation because you're not the first person to recommend that or quite a few other games. So I'm sure there'd be a lot of stuff in it that I would like. Maybe I just need to get over it, eh? Maybe I just need to stop being a soft cock. Just have a go. Have a go, you mug. Very Australian observation there. So I'll just share a little. I'll share a little tip. I try not to do too many tips every session. Try to just do one or two little tips, little ideas. So keep the fans coming back for the real great stuff. One of the reasons I really like the scale metals, really nice finish. It's a really, smooth, elegant looking finish. But what it does have, unfortunately, is it's a fairly matte finish. And in many ways, the goal of miniature painting is to create contrast. For those who don't know what the definition of contrast is, it is the juxtaposition of strikingly different elements, and there you go, that's the textbook definition. And so one of the things that is different about true metallics versus non-metallics is that reflective finish, that shiny finish. And unfortunately, that matte, slightly matte finish, although it looks absolutely delectable, it actually detracts from that ultimate goal of creating a visual juxtaposition between shiny and matte. It makes that job just a tiny little bit harder. So what I like to do, as I'm highlighting my gold, I like to mix in, for my last highlight, a little bit of steel or mithril silver if you're an old Games Workshop guy, into my gold, and that gives you a very reflective, shiny result on just some areas, and it makes your gold even better because you then have contrast within the colour of reflective and non-reflective, in addition to it contrasting in other places. So little tip there, probably only really relevant if you're using the scale metallics. If you aren't, you do whatever you want. I really try not to just go spruiking paints, right? Slangers, and I know you pot committed yourself into the watercolors and have to really convince yourself that that was a great investment. So I'll back you somewhat here. You can use any paints you want. It doesn't really matter. What you need to do is practice and understand the colours that you're using, because when you do that, that's when you can get the best out of them. Will I be painting most on stream? I'll certainly be painting some of it on stream. I'll be painting all of it. No, I definitely don't think I'll be painting all of it. I intend on painting ATO for the next little while, but I have a number of projects that I've got on the go at the moment. Actually, quite a few, more than I normally do. Yep, pot committed, mate. Just acknowledge it. Got to convince yourself it was a good investment, and that's okay. We've all been there. I have to do that all the time with my girlfriend. Hey, Mossy. But I would like to paint a fair chunk of it on stream, yes. So, yeah, AK's awesome. Unworthy heads, yeah, gloss varnish, strong tip. I always varnish my game models with slightly satin finish. So I think it helps. And I really like when I'm playing with my models to not worry about paint chips or anything like that. But I pretty much varnish everything now these days. Even my display stuff gets a nice solid hit of varnish. Wonderful varnish that I use, which is Tamiya Flat Clear. Fully replaced Tester's dull coat for me. Anyway, I'll do a little bit more to him, but there you go. That's fine. For me, that's probably about an hour, so that's okay. He looks pretty cool. That guy's an absolute spud. I don't know how he's doing that. No one can see that except for me and Craigswold, of course, but I'm just going to show off some of these Kingdom Death models, which I do want to paint. Seed Pattern Willow is her name. A lot of sass in that. A lot of sass. This is an old model. This is Aya, called Beyond the Wall, Before the Wall. One of those two. I think it's Before the Wall. She's actually got a beacon shield and the black sword. And she's wearing vagabond armor. And all of those things are top shelf. So if you can get this exact setup, it's quite wonderful. I'm painting this guy. His name is Grimmery. Yeah, bacon shield. And these are called Gusk knives, which is cool. Paired knives, always a bit of fun. He looks like Grima Wormtongue, which I really dig. Looking forward to painting him. This one we assembled the other week, Aya. Great. This guy, Titus. Yeah, what a guy, eh? He loves it. This one's cool. This is Morg. Ratus Gax Morg. So, every one of these cost me $30. Actually, probably more like 40, 45. Every one of these models. They came with game stuff and they came with other stuff, which I've used in the game. But every one of these models has cost me a chunk of cash. And so I made the decision recently that I needed to actually get some return on that investment and started painting them. So I did paint one of them. The first one that I did was this chick called Zelda. So she's wonderful. Pretty little girl. And then this one is Stampede Glaive Zell. So those two girls got painted. So yes, so I'm in the process of just making sure I've got my investment, my money's worth on my investment. So we're currently working through some models that should have been painted a long time ago, but we're not. All right. So come on, autofocus. No, not auto exposure, Deno. Alright. Oof, I do love my new camera rig. It's very, very good. I just gotta get this upper torso area right. The boobs. Now, you gotta get the boobs right on Kingdom Death girls because they're such a prominent component of the girls. Get away with legs not right, but yeah. I will unashamedly say that I absolutely adore Kingdom Death. Aesthetic, models. Can't say I've always felt that way, but there's something to be said for just knowing what you are and knowing what you like. Kingdom Death said, "We like boobs." And more power to them, I say. So this is Longclaw Lenore and her little story, little thing. So all of these survivors, called Indomitable survivors, represent survivors that have fought a level 3 monster in the game and survived. And not just survived, but taken something for their troubles. And so they introduced this new concept called an Indomitable resource, which you get from defeating a level 3 monster. All level 3 monsters have a specific trait, which is called Indomitable. So that Indomitable resource will provide you with a pattern to craft a unique piece of gear. And all of these Indomitable survivors are wielding their unique piece of gear. This is called Longclaw. It is a guitar. And it is a wonderful guitar. If you have procced its abilities, it could be the best guitar in the game at the moment that you get it anyway. Defeating a level 3 lion can happen pretty soon in a campaign, and this weapon, you can rock a guitar pretty much all the way through close to the final battle, this guitar, which is very cool. Just in case anyone missed it, by the way, the Brisbane Lions won the AFL Premiership. Anyone missed that? Bucks, you missed that, mate? You see that, Buxo? Lions. Jared, you see who they beat, mate? They beat Sydney Swans. Beat the Swannies. We are the pride of Brisbane town. We wear maroon, blue and gold. Mate, been following AFL my whole life. Certainly doesn't hurt that the Lions won. Remembered that I like the game. Now, it's fair to say that I don't really watch an awful lot of AFL. I watch cricket and I watch rugby league. AFL falls at the same time as rugby league, so it's hard for me to have enough bandwidth to follow both. But I do keep an eye on the Lions. And if you go back to 2000 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, went to quite a few games. quite a big fan of the game at the time. Not sure why. Craig, though, you just never watched it with me, mate. Seamus is built different. Mm. Alright. Let's add a little bit of eyeballs. That's an awful effort, Deno. Awful. Here's the number one thing that's just awful about streaming. Painting on camera in general. Like, painting eyeballs on a model this size. You can look at him and go, you know what? That's not too bad, Dano. You've actually done it right there. And then you look at it on that and you're like, what are you doing? It's tragic. It's tragic how bad it is. Alright, let's try. Come on, Dano. We believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in Harvey Dent. Oh, yes. It's a good start, Deno. Don't fuck it. Don't fuck it, son. Come on. You can do it. It's not bad, Deno. It's not bad. Come on! You can do it! Jump! Come on! Go now! Daddy will catch you! Come on! Alright. We'll just have a very quick vote before we start wrapping up stream. What is the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie of all time? In your opinion, and you can have whatever opinion you want I will not judge you. I think there is many, many, many correct choices. Many. Jingle All the Way is not one of those correct choices, Sean. No, no. Can't have that. Commando the musical or Conan the musical, both excellent choices. Crom, where is the wizard who killed my mother? Still, I can recall his terrible gaze. Crom, where are the two snakes facing each other? All right, I'm gonna throw a left field one out there for you, which is maybe not left field, but my top two Arnold Schwarzenegger films of all time are Total Recall and The Sixth Day. The Sixth Day. Do you remember that one? Man, it was awesome. It's all about cloning and shit. Wildly underrated film. Eraser. Yeah, Eraser was good. Eraser was good. But no, I have wonderful memories of The Sixth Day. And I actually watched it. Remember they used to do those movie marathons where you'd go to like the cinema and you'd stay up all night and you'd get to watch one brand new movie and then they'd put on some other movies. Well, the brand new movie that I was going to see was like Blade 2 or something, I think. I can't remember exactly what one it was, but I remember I watched The Sixth Day as one of the other movies. I don't remember the exact timeline of events or whatever, but and most of the time you get one good movie, the brand new movie, one absolute stinker, and then yeah. True Lies is also a very good answer. You're fired. And you need to hurry because my horse is getting tired. True Lies is an amazing movie. Yeah, amazing movie. Jamie Lee Curtis, glorious. Just a wonderful time for a young man. Yeah. No, Total Recall is my favourite Arnie movie. It's it's got one of the funniest lines, the funniest one-liners. Like I've shared the video in here many times. Just great Arnie one-liners. But the first time I watched Total Recall, I was watching the movie and he drops this dude off the edge with an elevator. He smashes this guy's arms off. He's just holding this dude's arms while the dude's dead on the ground. He screams out, "See you at the party, Richter!" I have never laughed more hard in my entire life than I did the first time I saw that. It was absolutely outstanding. So yeah, my vote is Total Recall and The Sixth Day. And as I said, I don't think you can really go wrong. He's a cracking cracking actor, really. When you look at it, when you look at the number of films he's done, there's some shockers in there, right? But there's not anywhere you would say he is shocking. You know, you might say that he's not. He's not got a lot of range as an actor, you know. Although he did that movie not long ago about the zombies, where his kid was turned into a zombie. What was that one called? He's not shocking in all of them. Come on, mate. He's shocking in Conan, but he's not shocking. You're hurting my feelings. I love Arnie. I love him. He's one of my favourites. Dylan, you son of a bitch. Good. It's good times, friends. Well, today, end of an era for me, and next week we start a new era, and we do it knowing that out there in the world there is a sculpted version of my face painted to look like I'm 80 years old, and I think there's something in that for all of us. All be well, little fella. Just keep chipping away. Well, I'm actually devastated because he didn't make a cast. He didn't make a mould of it. Could you imagine the fun we could have had if there is a cast of little Deno out there in the world, and we can give that to people? Those people being bucks. Oh dear, oh dear. What a time to be alive. A time when you have a little version of yourself everywhere, immortalised. What would you call a group of little Denos? That's a great question. A pest. A pest of Denos. Yeah, Cragzog, you and I would finally see eye to eye on something. Very good. Ah, Simon. Just cruising for a banning you are, mate. Thought better of you. You could just go drop the stir, mate. Could just be a shit of Denos. Oh, Bucks, I was talking about it before, mate. The Lions are back, mate. Actually, when you think about it, they've made quite a few grand finals Well, they've made 2 grand finals in a row. So good team. It was a special performance from them, from where they were 3 weeks ago. And the game against GWS to be 45, 50 points behind. Imagine telling them at that point, by the way, guys, you're going to be premiership winners in 3 weeks. They would have laughed you. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think the Storm are a very good chance. I think they're my pick, but the Penrith Panthers have won 3 prior premierships, so it'll be a good result for the Storm to win. Yeah, Joe Danaher played a marvellous couple of games when it really counted. The enigmatic Joe Danaher. No, it was really good. I do actually like the AFL. Like I do. I'm just a sport guy, right? Like I like watching sport, and I particularly love seeing AFL live. Like it's just such an amazing game to watch live. Like I was trying to explain to Mossy the other night. Rugby league's very two-dimensional. Happens in a two-dimensional plane, backwards and forwards, and you have sideways movement, but it's all for the byproduct of backwards and forwards. AFL is just it's a three-dimensional game. So much stuff happens off the ball in AFL, and that's part of the game. It's a requirement of the game, in fact. Whereas in rugby league, stuff that happens off the ball is usually a penalty. The ball is it. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't a good day to be a Swan supporter. My boss, my former boss, who's a big AFL fan, was absolutely convinced, adamant. He said to me, "Oh, Dano, I don't think the Lions can do it, mate. I think they played their grand final 2 weeks ago." He said. Said, "Yeah, nah, I think that's it, mate. It's been a good year for the Lions, but yeah, Swannies too strong up the middle." And I said, "Oh yeah, okay, yep, no, fair." And yeah, so I gave him a buzz this morning. "Hey mate, what's happening? How are those Swannies looking, pal?" But no. It's just a feel-good story for me, I think, the Lions. Feel-good story. A couple of great moments in their last few weeks to get them to that win. And also last year's heartbreaking loss to Collingwood. And then you have guys like Dane Zorko, who's been there the whole time, throughout the whole rebuilding period, giving it his all. Really nice to see him on the podium. Yeah, good news stories all round. And actually, there was another stat that I really liked that I saw on the internet the other day. I'm just about finished up here, by the way, friends, so we'll finish up soon. The Brisbane Heat also lost the grand final to Sydney. Also lost the grand final in 2023. And then had a grand final rematch or a game against Sydney and beat Sydney in the grand final the following year. Redemption for the Brisbane teams, with the exception of the Brisbane Broncos, who did not have redemption this year. They had the opposite of redemption. They had the let's sack our coach and not make the finals redemption. less good. Great. This is Longclaw Lenore. She's looking quite good. She will be done tomorrow. My first day of unemployment in approximately 20 and a half years. Might have a sleep in. Did they? Good on the Brisbane Blaze. Never heard of them before, but fucking good on them. How are the Bullets going these days? Are they any good? Bullets. I think the Jack Jumpers won last year. Alright. The Demidjinn. Longclaw Lenore. Good stream tonight, friends. I look forward to catching you all Sunday. Let me think, is there anything on Sunday? I will stream Sunday morning. It is grand final day for the rugby league, so I'll be watching that, but that happens in the afternoon. Monday night will be my last night unemployed before I move on to a brand new job. So we'll see. We'll see if I stream that night. Either way, friends, it's been a pleasure to see you all. Have a fantastic evening and week. I'll catch you all soon. Big time.